Hi everybody, for today's vlog I am going to be doing a breastfeeding advice for new moms and even just really moms in general. Um, it will be probably a long video, so bear with me during this. I have divided it into three categories and I'm just gonna talk about one by one and this is going to be a one take, so if I mess up or if there's a lot of babbling, just bear with me, please. Okay, but I'm going to start off with rude comments about breastfeeding. There are going to be people that look at you funny and that say mean things and avoid you like the plague, and that overall just don't exactly agree with you breastfeeding. And I think that the key to doing that, or like to overcoming that and to getting past and moving on past what others say, is to just simply ignore it. You can't let it get to you if you don't even acknowledge it, if you just ignore it in the first place. Don't let what they say change your feelings about breastfeeding, because in the end, it's not their decision, it's yours. It's ultimately whatever you decide for you and your child. Remember all of the reasons that you began to breastfeed. The benefits, the bonding, all the reasons that you wanted to do it for you and your baby. And you could even try to tell those people the benefits and the reasons why you wanted to start breastfeeding and why you do breastfeed. And you could ask them to support you. Tell them this is how you feel, and you would greatly appreciate it if they supported you with your decision to breastfeed your baby, because there really is no harm in it. Um, and then do not let what others say determine what you do or how long you breastfeed your child, because, like I said before, it's not their decision and it's not their right to influence you in that way, because you're the mom and you ultimately get to decide whether your child is breastfed or not and for how long. And the next subject, or like category, I'm going to talk about is first starting breastfeeding. This is just overall advice. I have, um, I'm just gonna come straight out and say, like, breastfeeding is not easy. At first, it can be a struggle. With Liam and I, it took Liam, I think it was like 5 weeks before he actually like latched on well and actually knew what he was doing. And even then, with his acid reflux and his colic, it was still really a struggle until he was about 5 months. Not saying everybody's experience is like that, because every experience is different. But if you have problems or concerns or anything, ask for help, ask for advice, ask other moms, reach out there. You can ask doctors, you can ask your WIC office, you can ask lactation consultants at your clinic. You can ask other moms. Breastfeeding Facebook pages, Instagram pages. Any social media that's out there really has ways that you can reach out to other breastfeeding moms also, because there are so many out there that do breastfeed. The next thing is to remember that it's not for everybody. Just because you formula feed or just because you breastfeed does not mean that that is 100% the way to go and that that is the right way to do it. There is no right way of feeding your child. Yes, breastfeeding has more benefits for your child, but it doesn't mean that formula feeding is not or like is bad for your child. It's all in what fits you and fits your personality, fits your lifestyle, fits your family. It really depends on a lot of things. The next piece of advice that I want to give you is give it time for your baby to get the hang of it, because some babies will latch right on right away and will be absolutely amazing and champs at breastfeeding, but others like Liam, it takes time to for them to get the hang of it. It takes time for them to realize, hey, I don't have everything just fed to me through a tube anymore. Like, I gotta work for this stuff. And So, I mean, just give it time and be patient. The first couple of weeks are the roughest. Like I said, it took Liam like 5 weeks before he actually got the hang of breastfeeding. And it's like the struggle is definitely worth it in the end. I mean, it might seem like it's never gonna overcome itself and that you're always gonna have that problem, but it you won't. I mean, it's just the first couple of weeks. Like first, sure, like the 6 week part or like the 6 week mark is like for sure when everything turns around. I mean, if it hasn't already by that time, it will definitely turn itself around. And then remember this piece of advice, I should say, I did not listen to exactly the world's best myself. Not because like I didn't know, but because Liam is like very picky. He favors my left breast over my right breast. Why? I don't know. I think it's because honestly of the letdown goes faster in my left breast than my right one. And so he favors that boob. And I will admit right now, right off the bat, that he does, or that like my left breast produces, oops, sorry guys. My left breast produces about an ounce more than my right one whenever I do pump. And I mean, it's been probably a week and a half since I pumped. But that was the last time I pumped. That's what I got. I got about an ounce and a half more out of the left one than I did the right, which, I mean, you definitely need to remember to breastfeed equally on both sides. I mean, switch off every other breast. I mean, if they're a double boober like Liam is, like, I call him a double boober because they eat off of both breasts, like, in one sitting, but if they do that, make sure that they're on each side equally, and if they favor one, give them that breast second so that they still have to eat off of the one that they don't like the world's best. Or you'll become lopsided and you will definitely produce more on the other side. The next thing that I really want to talk about, which I did not do with Liam, which I really, really, really regret, like just starting off. But my next one, when I do have more children and I do breastfeed the next ones, if I am able to, I will definitely put them to the boob, like, if they're upset. I mean, if they're fussy, if they're hungry, if they're cranky, I mean, put them to the boob. For all you know, they could still be a little hungry, or maybe they just like to comfort nurse. I mean, there's no such thing as giving them too much boob time, I guess you could call it. You can't be too attached to your child, and they can't be too attached to you, and they can never have it enough. You know, I mean, breastfeeding is a natural thing. It's a bonding thing. It's just like as if they were to want a bottle, you know. Babies are not on a strict schedule by any means, shape, or form. They go by the seat of their pants. If they're a little bit hungry, they'll fuss and they'll want to eat. You know, like, it's all on the baby. If they're showing signs that they're hungry or they're cranky, give them the boob because it will help in the long run to make you have a happier baby and just to make them not be so fussy and cranky. And it will definitely improve your bonding skills. And then the last thing that I want to talk about for the first starting a breastfeeding category is to eat healthy. I mean, a lot of people that I know, sorry, my camera's kind of wiggling around here. A lot of people that I know like drink coffee, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I drink like a mocha every now and again, but it's not something that I do on a regular basis. And I mean, especially with like caffeine, because that goes straight to the baby. You know, like whatever you're getting, they're getting too. So I mean, make sure that you're eating healthy so that the baby is getting the nutrition that it needs, and drink lots and lots and lots of water. I mean, water will help boost your milk supply and help you produce like none other. And water too will help you not be dehydrated because you are producing milk for a little one and you are producing their source of food. So the last category that I want to talk about, which is probably going to take the longest, is breastfeeding problems. Like I said before, I ran into a lot of problems with breastfeeding. And I mean, it's nothing that was difficult really to overcome. It's just things that were kind of tricky. And that I definitely could have needed, or that I definitely did need help with and needed advice. And so that's why, like, I want to make this video for you guys to help you in any way, shape, or form. Um, some of the problems that I had was like latching, cracked nipples, biting, producing, publicly breastfeed. Ugh, I can't talk. Publicly breastfeeding and weaning, which right now Liam and I are in the weaning process. Just because he is, well, I'll discuss that later in this video. Okay, so I'm going to start off by talking about latching. Like I said before, be patient. Latching takes time for some babies. I mean, others get it right from the get-go, and some babies just have a harder time learning it and wanting to do it, and just getting it down as to what they need to do, you know? And some babies are just amazing breastfeeders in general. Um, if you can't get it, I mean, don't be afraid to ask, like, a nurse, other moms, I mean, friends that you know that breastfeed, doctors, I mean, anybody, you know. Breastfeeding moms understand. I mean, especially me. I have a girl that I used to go to school with that actually breastfeeds her little girl now, and she has came to me for advice. And I mean, I wish that I would have gone to other moms more than I have, just because I've needed a lot of advice with breastfeeding. I'm sorry, I keep moving the camera around. Um, yeah, I mean, I've needed a lot of advice with breastfeeding also, because breastfeeding is not easy by any means. I mean, it is not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to start off with. But I mean, at the same time, for some moms it is. For some moms, their babies get it right away and it's just a piece of cake. But I mean, with latching too, if they don't want to latch right, try different positions. I mean, try the football hold, try like, I don't know what you could call it, like the stationary hold, I guess. Just to